This week on Storyboard, we have FCB Group's new CEO and South Asia CEO, Dheeraj Sinha, speaking about moving from Publicis Group to FCB, his plans for the company and much more. And we have Arik, Chief Revenue Officer of Etihad Airways, speaking about being the official sponsor of Chennai Super Kings, their India plans, sports sponsorships and much more. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. We are catching up with FCB Group's new CEO for India and South Asia, Dheeraj Sinha, who's a dynamic leader in the Indian advertising industry. For the past couple of decades, he might have changed many agencies, but he says that moving in from Leo Burnett to FCB Group was a hard decision. He has big plans for FCB. What are those plans? Let's find out. Dheeraj, welcome to CNBC TV 18.
Great to be here.
This is the first time that I'm meeting you in your new role at FCB India. Yeah. I think you resumed in November, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Yeah. What have the past couple of months been like for you at FCB?
Quite fantastic, in fact, right? I mean, I have to say that walking out of Burnett was hard. But the great thing was to join FCB was fantastic. I mean, the welcome I got and the way everybody...
We saw the video.
Yeah. So it was just so much of heart and so much of love, and I felt so embraced, right? And then I've been on a whole tour to meet clients, meet all the talent in the agency. And for me, it's been a journey of great unveiling and great discovery, because I realized that the client relationships are so fantastic and so deep. I mean, there are businesses here which have been here for more than 4 decades, yes. Right? If you look at brands such as Amul, it's pretty much been built in partnership with FCB Ulka, right? So across the board, I'm realizing the relationships are strong. The depth of talent, Shivani, is amazing, right? There are people in this organization who started as a star one employee, and they are CEO now in the organization. So some of these stuff, right, I hadn't seen in my 25 year of career in advertising. So it's been a great, fantastic journey of what a solid platform this is.
Yeah, and we have seen that across, even some of the industry veterans who joined in as only trainees at Ulka eventually took those roles as CEO within the system. But having said that, since you said moving away from Burnett was hard, and you moved away at a time when, Leo Burnett is like one of the shining stars in the creative agency space, winning across, winning big. What made you take this decision to join FCB?
Yeah, couple of things. One is, when I was chatting with FCB, Susan and Tyler, right, the commitment to creativity as a core, right, was something which drew me to the agency. And as things are changing, right, I mean, tech is becoming interesting, media is becoming interesting, data is becoming interesting. The conversation on what's the role of creativity in this business is being questioned, is being debated. And my firm belief is very similar to what FCB's firm belief is. And we say that creativity is an economic multiplier, right? So this is the place, and advertising business is the place where brands get built. Right? If you look at when clients come to us, they have a bare bone product or an offering or a service. And over a period of time, we built such great value to those brands, right? In my past life, what we did with Amazon or Spotify or PhonePe, or here in FCB, what they've done with brands such as Amul. These are such fantastic cases of building real shareholder value, real value in the marketplace. So that was a big idea of saying, creativity at the core of the organization, and big belief in creativity being the amplifier for business and multiplier for business in today's time, and everything else then to the service of creativity. So of course we are about data, of course we are about tech, but then who's the master that you're answering to? And that answer I found at FCB. That was one big reason. The other big reason also was when you look at the India business with FCB. And with Connect coming into the fold, we have 4 companies. So there's FCB Connect, there's FCB Interface, FCB Ulka, and FCB India, right? Put together, I dare say, Shibani, that we would be the largest integrated creative agency in the country. So that gives you a scale within one P&L to deliver the full service, the full funnel to the client in one go. They're not different CEOs that you need to make calls to. It's part of the
It's
same
one CEO who makes the
P&L,
decision.
right? And finally, third thing, I felt that, I should disrupt myself when things are at its peak. And I'm a builder, right? I love building what we built at Leo Burnett with the entire team. And this is a new journey, and I love to build this. Yeah.
And without making it sound like a job interview, what do you bring to the table at FCB right now at this point in time?
I think as a leader, right, the task is how do you take the fundamentals and the strong platform that the organization has. I mean, our list of clients is fantastic, right? It's a very robust business. We have a full service solution on the table. There's fantastic talent. How do you take all of this and get the organization ready for the future? Right? Because in my business, we believe that you have to create the future. You have to invent the future. If you're not inventing the future, you will get eaten up. Right? So readiness for tomorrow, a lot of our clients are far ahead in the game. Right? I mean, they are playing with sustainability. They are playing with very cutting edge technology. How does the agency system, right, keep up? And more importantly, get ahead of that is where my role is. And of course, the basics of how do we build greater growth, more glory, and guts, which was the theme of the whole leadership conference that we just did in Goa.
Yeah. And you mentioned how some of the clients have been with FCB for decades put together. But, what about the newer ones? When you go and meet them, let's say during pitch presentations or meetings, when roping in a new client or getting him or her on board, what is their perception of FCB today? And how do you want them to look at FCB going forward?
So as things are right now, Shivani, you have to see the FCB group right now as some of its parts, right? So we have FCB Connect, which is the largest, the best digital company in the country right now, right? They have the best repertoire of clients, talent. So clients look at that agency as very forward-facing, new age, doing great cutting edge work. If you look at what they've done with HDFC Bank on deep fake and vigilante and all of that, is pretty much the center of conversation at that point in time. So that's FCB Connect as a brand for you. FCB Ulka, on the other hand, is an agency which holds the clients very strongly, right? And the relationships are really deep. They are 2 decades, 3 decades, and clients here see us as people who are always there for them. The relationships are strong. We are part of their business plans. We are really upstream in all client businesses, right? So nothing moves there without the organization's involvement. So we are on the boardroom, on the strategy table with clients in this brand, right? Similarly, Interface has built some of the brands over a period of time, and the relationships are really strong. FCB India is the newest brand in the portfolio, and there we have Google, we have Uber, we have Pernod as a set of clients. So more new age businesses there, right? So it's a mix of going from very cutting edge digital, new age data in the middle, very strong client relationships, built some of these brands over 4 or 5 decades, to a very new young FCB India. So that's the sum of its parts. Overall, we want to be seen from a client perspective as the best creative company in the world, right? Which comes in, has the ability to solve problems in a strategy way upstream, and can take that idea all the full funnel right at the end, because everything now is one P&L.
Yeah, but I heard you. You mentioned 4 different agencies. Clearly from your conversation, 4 distinct personalities.
Yes.
Is there a concerted effort to retain that, or to be seen as one FCB in front of the clients?
So see, one of the tasks obviously is integration. So Connect has come in. It's a buyout in some sense. So we have 52% share in them. So one of the ideas, how do we work together far more, right? At the same time, these also will be 4 different brands to manage competition, so that we can eat as much more as there is on the table. So they will do their distinct businesses, but there will be a one FCB narrative, which is future facing, agile, new age, and globally benchmarked.
Yeah, so one FCB narrative going forward, but what else? What are the key focus areas? And also, let's talk investments. What do you continue
Yeah.
to invest in going forward?
So, I mean, we continue to invest in new age talent, right? And that is at two levels: A, acquiring new age talent; B, upgrading our talent. So, a huge amount of budgets are being proportioned on training and upgrading our own talent ourselves. I mean, I always feel that you have to be like a AI first before you begin to play with AI. So, we have to absorb all the technologies, all the interesting things which are happening. So that's an investment area for us. Building the culture, participating in platforms which give us the global exposure, make our presence felt in those global exposures is again a big investment area. A lot of investment also obviously went into the acquisition that's been done. So we have to now prove that it works well and works well together.
Yeah, and more acquisitions coming in the next year, in this year?
Uh, I mean, not right away, but we are open to looking at things which are more new age, more cutting edge. We do not want to acquire talents and abilities that we already have.
Yeah.
So that's the filter really. I mean, we want to go for things which we don't have.
Okay, Dheeraj, on a personal front, and I have always known you as like a strategic planner. To someone who's transitioned to become a CEO, of course, your last role would have given you quite a bit of hands-on experience on doing that. But what has been this transition been like for you on a personal front?
It's been huge. I'm a different person. Yeah, and see,
As a strategic planner also, what do you bring to the table as as a CEO?
As a planner, right? I mean, as a planner, you are more eye focused, right? You look at your output, you look at strategies, you're trying to work with people, and you're out. So it's a vertical job. You run one department. In my best situation, when I was running APAC strategy for Gray and Bates long time back, the largest team I had was 50 people across the APAC region, across 15 countries. From there to now having 1200 people, right, and being responsible for that. The job goes from being a vertical job to a horizontal job. So you're responsible for bathroom leaking and paint shipping out, to clients being happy, not happy, to the culture, to the future, to the strategy. So it goes from extreme execution at one end to extreme high-end strategy at the other end, because you are responsible for the future of the organization. If you've not readied the organization to take on the future, you've not done your job correctly. At the same time, you're also responsible for day-to-day execution.
Yeah.
So it becomes a horizontal dashboard that you begin to map as a CEO. Then a vertical dashboard you begin to map. The other thing is, just as a sociability index of the job, right? You have to reach out to far more people, you have to be accessible, you have to meet clients, and so on and so forth. But in terms of how strategy has helped me, it's now when I'm meeting clients, I'm not just meeting them on a relationship. I meet them and I can offer a solution to the problem that they have. So we have a real deep conversations. In fact, even at Burnett, a large part of my job was actually strategy on some of the brands and businesses that we handle. So I've never taken myself away from the product. And that, whether for our clients or even for the organization, what should be the strategy for the future, has always come in handy because of my strategy background.
So you always have the consumer's voice on the table, I
Yes,
believe.
yeah, and that's the joy of this business, right?
And you're someone who has not even left the business, moved or tempted. Were you tempted to go on the client side at all, or?
I love this business too much to leave. There have been opportunity, and I thought that, oh my God, will I have to think about finance all the time, or will I have to think about healthcare all the time? I love the fact that the palette in advertising is so broad. In the morning, you're thinking about how to sell milk. In the afternoon, thinking about how to sell cars. In the evening, thinking about how to get people on Google and so on and so forth. I love that variety.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, and on that note, do you think this is like the best time to be on, the agency side of things?
I'm very bullish on this business, and I'm aware that iconic agency brands are shutting down and so on and so forth. And there tends to be a lot of negative conversation about this business on social media, in Facebook. Advertising is dead is a headline I've seen, Shivani, from the time that I entered this business. It's been 25 years and still up and thriving, and we all have our jobs, and we are growing, and we are hiring more people every year. So I love this business. I think it's got a fantastic future.
What makes it thrive?
I think when I was born in this business, the only things you could play with was headlines and images, right? Our palette was so limited. You could make a television film, or you could write a radio script, or you could do an outdoor television. Today, the palette of what you can play with is so wide. You could build a product. You could use data to do a campaign. You could play with packaging. You could play with AI. In fact, yesterday, one of our companies, FCB Interface, I mean, it's a very interesting idea. They took budget, right, and they mixed it with AI and music. So the budget findings are being presented to younger generation through AI and music, right? That's the beauty of what you could do today. The fact that the palette of your materials that you can play with is so wide, and that makes this business so exciting.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for your insights. Thanks for joining us today.
Lovely conversation. Thank you, Shivani.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we are joined in by Arik Day, Chief Revenue Officer at Etihad Airways, who's speaking to us about Etihad being the official sponsor for Chennai Super Kings, their India plans, sports sponsorships, and much more. Welcome back. Etihad Airways is now the official sponsor for the IPL team Chennai Super Kings. As a part of this partnership, Etihad aims to elevate the fan experience by engaging in some exciting activities, promotions and unique initiatives throughout the upcoming season of the Indian Premier League. To tell us more, today we are joined in by Arik Day, Chief Revenue Officer at Etihad Airways. Arik, welcome to CNBC TV 18.
Thank you very much, Shivani, for having me. Great to be here with you.
Arik, tell us more about coming on board as a sponsor for Chennai Super Kings and the reason behind it, also the business objective behind this association.
Look, Etihad has had a 20-year love story with India. We've flown here from day one of our inception, and today is a milestone event for us. So we love doing what people love doing. So we started this year with a Bollywood partnership with Katrina Kaif as our spokesperson. And then the second part today is our cricketing partnership with CSK. Chennai is a big city for us. We've grown capacity here to 4 daily flights. And today we're going to give something to the fans back, announcing a very deep partnership with CSK commencing today. So an exciting day to be here with us.
And Arik, Chennai Super Kings is one of the teams that has a huge fan base, and you know, these fan loyalists, the Whistle Podu gang as they are known as across the country. Tell us, how are you planning to leverage on this kind of community support that the team has, and also how will this partnership come to life in the days to come as we approach this season of IPL?
So for the fans, a lot of this deep partnership is going to unravel like a nice Bollywood movie. You're going to see us being the sponsors for the back of the T-shirt. We're going to be at the Chepauk Stadium. We're going to have a hospitality suite, and there's a lot of really great partnership elements that we have lined up that we're going to reveal slowly as we go forward.
And as you mentioned, this is the 20th year of Etihad in the country. You began speaking about how you roped in Katrina Kaif like a couple of months back as one of your ambassadors, and now this partnership. Apart from that, if you can also share, some of the insights particular to this country that will shape your strategy going forward in 2024.
Yeah. So look, I mean, the great history we have with India that goes back 20 years is a lot of learnings around, and India is deep for us. We have over 2,000 employees from India. So it's a country we know well. It's a country we are growing with. And so it's a country that we tailor to, right? So, we fly to 10 cities in India. We have over 160 weekly flights. That's up 10% since the pandemic. And every offering we do to India is customized to where we fly to. So of course, the meals on board, the 1,800 hours of Bollywood entertainment on board, the language speakers on board, whether it's our flight attendants or our ground staff. And then it's also doing what Indians love, right? Whether it's Bollywood or whether it's cricket. It's something that is a journey that we have been on, and we're excited to continue being on with.
Okay, also do share your outlook for the Indian aviation market, and how do you plan to expand your footprint over here in the country?
We've carried over 30 million Indians over the last 20 years. So it's a big footprint that we have. We are excited about India, but it's not like we just woke up and became excited about India. We've been excited about India for the last 20 years. The economic success story of India is exciting. It's nice to be part of. And it's something that will continue to evolve, in terms of our growth. This year alone, we're going to increase capacity amount of seats in the Indian market by over 30%. We started flying from January 1 to Kozhikode and Thiruvananthapuram. And last year, we reintroduced Kolkata. So it's an ambitious agenda, and there's a lot more to come.
Also, from Manchester City to Formula One, Etihad has a strong foothold in sporting sponsorships for events across the world. Tell us more, how much of your investment and marketing spends is directed towards sporting sponsorship? That's my part one of the question. And how has it benefited the brand?
Look, we are an airline is a lifestyle brand. So we want to do what our guests who fly us want to do. And investment for us is all around the board. Investments is on our sporting relationships that we have. Investments is on the food we have, the aircraft we buy, and the products we offer, right? So the investments are deep, and they're customized to where we fly. And that's something that you're going to see a lot more in this space over the next few years.
So
we have... Go ahead.
Yeah. So more sporting sponsorships coming ahead in the year as well. Also an Olympic year. So how do we see Etihad's presence over there?
Olympic year, and then leading up to even more of an important thing is the second Olympic year. So let's dissect the two a little bit. So Olympic year in Paris, we have a global partnership with Air France KLM. We're very excited about that. And then going into the future, into the US, where cricket is going to make a introduction at the Olympics in 2028 in LA. That's a great platform. I mean, it's such a fantastic sport. I was actually born in India, and it's a great opportunity to modernize and to globalize the sport. And so this Olympic partnership, the journey we are on, is a 4-year journey. We fly to a lot of cities in the US, and we see this partnership being a deep partnership as we go forward in the next few years.
And how do you see Etihad benefiting from the recovery that we have seen in international travel over the past couple of months? How do you see Etihad benefiting going into 2024?
Shivani, I think Etihad has already benefited. Our capacity, the amount of seats we provide to the Indian market, and the amount of people we're carrying in the Indian market is actually over 10% up versus the pre-pandemic levels, right? So in terms of the growth that we're seeing, it's strong. We're seeing Indians go not only to visit their loved ones in places like the UK or Canada or the US, but we're also seeing a lot more adventurous Indians who are going to places new in the destination and new in our network, whether it's Portugal or Sweden or Denmark. And so the question really is, how do we further sustain this momentum as we go forward?
Great. All the best for that. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today, Arik.
Thank you very much for having me. Great to see you.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.